The year is 2005. Anakin turns to the dark side. YouTube debuts, and we couch jump for Mariah, McDreamy, and a girl with a dragon tattoo. T-minus 20. Rewind 20 years with Joe and Mel.
Week of 7 August 2005.
T-minus 20.
Hey, what do you think this is, a talk show?
T-minus 20.
It's an icebreaker. Don't judge me yet. This is bananas. Chappelle, you will come home.
20.
My question is, who approved that shit?
Do you see where this is going?
20.
Not really.
20.
Did you ever wonder what the hell we were all doing 20 years ago? Maybe because you failed to remember, or, it's just a distant memory that, you've pushed back into the deeper recesses of your mind and you've chosen to suppress. And we're not all about that. We're T-minus 20. We're the podcast that rewinds exactly 2 decades to the headlines, heartthrobs, and hot messes of the early 2000s, the ones that you probably do choose to suppress and forget. From world-shaking news to ringtone-dominating charts. If it happened in 2005, we're dragging it back into the spotlight, whether it likes it or not, by the hair. Flared jeans and all.
Absolutely.
With your hosts, Joe and Mel. Hello, Mel.
Hello. We are rewinding 7 to 13 August 2005 this week.
Mr. Volcker has said from the past that he would release these documents as he no longer needed them, and we've welcomed the fact that he's done that.
Oh, some people have welcomed the fact that Mr. Volcker's released his report, but other people not so much, with the oil for food scandal hitting peak chaos with a massive report that came out that dropped more names than a 2005 MySpace Top 8, but that's only because MySpace Top 8 only has 8 names in it.
After the first astronauts saw the Earth from space, they came back with stories of its beauty and fragility.
20 years ago, we were talking spacewalks for the super rich.
Yes.
Adventures into space, $100 million. Oh, so cheap. What a bargain. Spoiler alert, never happened, but we'll find out. We'll find out what happened.
I don't get jealous of other girls because I was raised in a cloning lab to be the perfect woman for Hugh M. Hefner. So other than the fact that my IQ is probably a little higher than he would like, I have nothing to worry about.
Oh, the girls of the Playboy Mansion, or the girls next door, or whatever you want to skin it, whichever way you want to skin that rabbit, came out on the TV 20 years ago, and there's been so much water that's gone under that bridge, so that's going to be a very interesting conversation.
Yes.
Oh, and speaking of water under the bridge, as you know, we obviously we record this 2 weeks or so in advance, okay? So quite often at the time of recording, things do happen across the course of the week that the episode comes out that we
After
have
we've
no
recorded,
foresight or control of.
Yes.
And I think specifically a couple of weeks ago we talked about Hogan Knows Best, Hulk Hogan's TV show. And literally was it the morning after or the day of?
The day we released the podcast. So it was published that morning, and then we found out a few hours later.
Like midnight, and then at about 11 that morning, or a bit earlier perhaps, we found out that Hulk Hogan had passed away.
Yes, so very much alive when we were talking about the show Hogan Knows Best.
Yes, and so that was awkward because I called it like I saw it and said some things about Hulk Hogan that they were perhaps not very nice people. So, and I think the history will speak for itself, right? But had I have known what I know now, I might not have gone in so hard, I guess, just out of respect. Because the other thing is Hulk Hogan was a big part of my childhood, as I mentioned earlier as well. And then, of course, the other thing that I think we need to talk about too is Ozzy Osbourne. Because we also spoke about the Osbournes in that episode and the comparison, and then we talked about the concert in Birmingham, the Black Sabbath farewell, and less than 2 weeks after that, Ozzy Osbourne has passed away, which just...
Very sad.
Shattered me as someone who's a big fan. I was completely shattered and saddened by that. But I think when I stepped back and put it back into perspective, but the sadness is more for his family than anything with Ozzy, because they didn't get probably as much time after his final show with him as what they would have liked, and I think that's terribly unfair. But as far as a life well lived and a fantastic way to go out, if there is such, such a thing. I mean, Ozzy Osbourne, talk about going out on your own terms.
Yeah.
You know, you do your final show. You're never going to set foot on the stage again. You brought people to tears. The whole world came out for you. You raised over, I think, $200 million or close to that for all the charities. Nobody profited from that gig. And then 17 days after that, you passed away with all your family around you. Your daughter had got proposed to. She just got engaged.
Yeah.
You'd seen all your grandkids. You were back in England. I mean, I thought that was a really wonderful way for Ozzy to go. But as a fan, it was terrible. And then that made me think as well, right? Like Gen Xers, I think, are the generation that really kind of latched on to a lot of these pop culture icons. So we do really feel it when some of these people that we've never met before but have been with us through their art in our childhood and as we've grown up pass away. It's really hard to take.
And I think too, when you're seeing people that you grew up with now starting to pass away from, I guess, what you call the diseases of aging.
Yeah.
So things that are to do with getting older and things that happen to you, like not things like accidents or other things that we've seen through some of our other heroes over the years, but we're starting to see our heroes and people that we admired and grew up with starting to pass away because they are getting older. And it really then does set in around that whole concept of mortality. And you're
it's very scary.
We're starting to see it happen more and more, and particularly because we're looking at a 20-year span, 20 years ago. Yeah. I think we're going to start to see more of that happen too.
It's also the age of retirement is getting a lot later, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Hulk Hogan was 71 when he passed away and Ozzy Osbourne was 76, and I think the retirement age now, or the pension age in our country is 70.
Is it 70?
Something like that. I feel like it's somewhere around 70. Well, look, don't quote me. You probably need to fact check me on that, but it feels like it's around 70. So when you think about it, that puts it into perspective a little bit. I mean, you know, I didn't take steroids and then get an enlarged heart and then have it fail on me. Like I didn't work my heart as much as Hulk Hogan did, and I didn't take as much cocaine any cocaine, the likes of which Ozzy Osbourne did and lived to those excesses.
But it's also interesting, the framing as well. I've heard a lot of people sort of comment in both situations, they were so young. Yeah. They were so young. And it's interesting to think about our perspective of what's old as well, because I remember when I was little, 40s, 50s, that was ancient history. Yeah. Whereas now when we look at people passing in their 70s, that's pretty young.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think we were ever meant to live this long.
No.
Do you know what I mean? It's like if you think about us not living that long, being meant to live that long, and you look at all the marriages that I'm noticing kind of fall apart, 15, 20 years in, maybe even 10 years in. And it's like, wow, I guess we weren't meant to live this long. Sorry, that is a little bit morbid. And back to Ozzy, I think that is one of the first times, I think, for me at my age that I've seen somebody who's been with me all through childhood actually pass away that I've felt really, really connected to as an artist. So that was difficult. And I guess it's going to start happening more and more. Like he certainly hasn't been the first, but he was definitely, I don't think I've seen a more high profile or a person who has spanned, and if you think about it in the context of 20 years ago, the Osbournes obviously was coming out and that was just a pop culture phenomena the world over. And because of that, Ozzy's reach became bigger. I don't think I've seen anybody as that has had such an impact on the entire planet as what Ozzy Osbourne did, except for maybe Hulk Hogan a couple of days later. Again, both of those people, although very different characters, I don't think there's a single person around the world who wouldn't know
the name,
who they are. Yeah, and so that was that's a big deal, I think. And with both of them, I think when you look at legacies, it's really interesting as well because Hulk Hogan was a character who was pushed as this all-American superhero type perfect character who we found out over time became very, very flawed. And then when people found out that Hulk Hogan was flawed and he did have those flaws, they started to hate on him quite a bit, whereas Ozzy was this really flawed character and people loved him because of that.
Yeah. He was almost endearing, wasn't he?
Well, he was. And I think for Ozzy too, because he always thought that he'd go out with people thinking he was a bit of a clown or whatever, and they came to terms with that. But it was the complete opposite. And the only thing that I really wish for Ozzy Osbourne beyond a remarkable career and amazing send-off is to see how much people actually respected and adored him. I think because 80s kids too, we just spent a lot of time not hanging out with our parents. So TV,
watching TV and listening to music
were kind of our other parents, I guess, without offending the parents. Sorry, it's all water under the bridge. Anyway, let's do the hatches, matches, and dispatches clues, shall we?
Sure.
The segment at the end of the show with the thing at the beginning, a celebrity. This is what is this? This is a dispatch.
It's a dispatch.
Oh, God. It's just, we're really bringing the good cheer this week and positivity, aren't we? A celebrity who passed away who said this.
I don't want to eat anybody. I just get so hungry. I'm just too big.
I so understand that feeling. You know, hungry, too big, don't want to eat anyone.
Don't eat anyone, but you just can't help it.
I'm not sure if I could fit you in my macros anyway. We'll find out who that is at the end of the show.
Over to the news, 8th of August 2005, we have a big report that was released around the oil for food scandal. Now, oil for food was a program that the UN ran, I think, mid-90s through to 2003, and the idea was that it would allow Iraq to sell oil in exchange for food, medicine, other humanitarian needs without violating UN sanctions that were imposed upon them after the Gulf War. They were obviously under those strict sanctions due to Saddam's invasion of Kuwait, the ongoing weapons program, and the idea here was to prevent humanitarian suffering but still isolating his regime.
Yes, still maintaining your sanctions, still sanctioning the man. But this was, I guess, not the case over time. It just became a vehicle for corruption and bribery and sanction busting. And so by the early 2000s, lots of journalists and NGOs and governments began raising concerns about mismanagement and possible corruption in this program. And then after the invasion of Iraq in 2003, some documents uncovered by coalition forces suggested there was huge fraud that was happening by Saddam's regime. So they were getting paid kickbacks and surcharges on oil sales and bribes to foreign companies and officials and stuff. And then they established the Volcker Committee in 2004.
And that was in response to the growing pressure. So UN Secretary General Kofi Annan appointed an independent committee, which was led by Paul Volcker, who was former US Federal Reserve Chairman, to investigate. And it launched a pretty comprehensive investigation into how the program was managed.
Mr. Volcker has said from the past that he would release these documents as he no longer needed them, and we've welcomed the fact that he's done that. But you have to remember, he has access to not only these internal audits, but every UN staff member, every UN document that relates to oil for food. So I think we have to wait for his final conclusion to make any judgments.
So this third report comes out on the 8th of August, and this is the bombshell moment in the whole unfolding scandal. So there's key findings that implicate a guy by the name of Benon Sevan, who is the head of the oil for food program. He's a UN official. And it concluded that he took at least $147,000 in illicit oil allocations from Iraq via front companies in exchange for influencing contract decisions in Saddam Hussein's favour. And he had denied this, obviously, but before the report comes out in August, on the 8th of August, he resigns.
Oh.
Which is convenient, isn't it? Yes.
Very much so. Interesting. There are also a lot of failures in the oversight of it, saying that the UN had grossly inadequate controls and failed to properly oversee the billions that were flowing through the program. A lot of UN officials, contractors, even member states were implicated in turning a blind eye or actively participating in the schemes. There was involvement of lots of companies and governments.
Much bigger than the MySpace top 8 list. Like
Russia, France, China, they were named for participating in kickbacks or being allocated oil under some pretty shady deals. It also suggested that many foreign officials were bribed with oil allocations known as oil vouchers.
Yeah, so this guy, Benon Sevan or Sevan or however you want to pronounce it, was charged by the US prosecution with wire fraud in 2007 after this third report came out. But he was he had hightailed it out of there and escaped to Cyprus. So he never actually went to trial. And Kofi Annan, who was the head of the UN at the time, he actually, I mean, politically, he got a bit battered and bruised by this. Because his own son, Kojo Annan, was linked to a company called Kotekna that was involved in the program, although he was never charged with wrongdoing either. But there was kind of obviously just a bit of speculation around that, nothing proven. The UN then is heavily criticised for their lack of internal checks. Like, no kidding, there's so many names that are involved. And major internal reforms, obviously transparency, accountability, all of those things that they have to try and fix. And then companies and individuals had to pay a lot of fines or settle with US authorities for their roles in it.
They needed a framework. That's what they were missing. They were missing a framework and some project management.
Chuck a good framework and some project management and we'll have ourselves ship-shape in no time.
Yes,
that's probably in the talking points.
Responsible officers.
They're like, okay, new UN person, like how are you going to respond to this report? And he's like, well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to establish a working group.
Ah, perfect.
And then the working group will put together a framework that will set a map for our
roadmap.
A roadmap. That's right. With some key milestones that we'll need to hit.
With good cadence.
With good cadence. Yes, definitely making a good cadence to hit those key milestones.
Lines.
Yep, really strong reporting lines, and we'll report back to you through those reports.
With some SMEs, some ongoing SMEs.
Yeah, we'll get some SMEs in there. That'll be good.
Perfect.
That's
Problem
subject
solved.
matter experts for those of you playing at home. I mean, my goodness, what a load of this is, though, one of the biggest financial scandals in the United Nations history. $1.8 billion.
Jeez.
1.8 for Saddam Hussein's regime as well. And I think it put forward a case study for the dangers. There we go. We'll do a case study. How does that sound?
Yes, that's how we'll learn from our mistakes.
Of unchecked international bureaucracy. Bureaucracy is where they get you, where the lack of all that political oversight and interests allow corruption to just go crazy, and it did. So the UN kind of suffered a huge reputational blow because of this. I think the thing it is pretty annoying about it, though, is a lot of the biggest offenders in this scandal. So there were people that obviously took the fall and fell on their swords, were never prosecuted because of things like diplomatic immunity or foreign jurisdiction. So again, it's like, well, how tough are you really, United Nations? Like you don't even carry a big stick. Like your logo is a bird with a twig.
Something a bit more exciting and fun on the 10th of August.
Oh, if you can afford it. I tell you what, if you're a UN official, you might have a spare few bucks you could probably throw down on this.
Yes, I think they could afford. They could afford a couple of, could send about 10 people up. Private space company Space Adventures.
Yeah.
Doesn't that just scream
Sounds
fun?
legit, doesn't it?
Space Adventures. Yep. Come along to Space Adventures for a good time. They've announced plans to create a tourism program that will send people around the moon. It's a 5.5-day lunar flight. They reckon it was going to be ready to go by about 2008, 2009. For a cool $100 million, you get an opportunity for a spacewalk aboard the International Space Station.
That sounds terrifying.
After the first astronauts saw the Earth from space, they came back with stories of its beauty and fragility. At Space Adventures, we turned these stories into first-hand experiences for commercial space pioneers. Since 2001, we have organized 8 space flights for private astronauts. Now we are giving more people the opportunity to achieve their dreams of going to space than ever before by participating in a suborbital spaceflight.
That's a good ad.
It's
inspiring.
Yeah.
Music was moving.
Sign me up. I'm heading down to Flight Centre to see if they can do me a deal on any space adventures.
Yeah,
you know,
some overnight accommodation.
Is there a drinks package? Make sure you buy the drinks package if you go. You don't take the drinks package, you could get very bored.
Yes.
You know, it's pretty lonely. There's not a lot to do up in space. You'd want to have some activities that you could, some shuffleboard perhaps, maybe a couple of...
That would be dangerous in space. Things would flip off and hit you. No, you'd need something that's tethered down.
No.
Tetherball.
Well, as part of the... I don't think recreational activities are part of the package. I think they think the thing is a
extra.
I just feel like, I mean, once you're there, okay, like we're in space.
What do we do
now? Exactly. The package,
this is the
the
deal?
launch via a Russian Soyuz rocket, 10 days on the International Space Station.
Oh, that's a good amount of time.
I'll finish. A guided EVA spacewalk with cosmonauts.
Also tour guides.
Yes,
Good.
this would have been the first spacewalk by a private citizen as well, and a big leap in space tourism. But I'm like the 10 days on the International Space Station, 10 days on that big network of tubes that is orbiting around the Earth. Do things
What
smell?
amenities? What amenities are there?
And I know they've got like scrubbers to clean the air and stuff, but do things smell in space?
Is there a buffet is my question, because if you're on there for 10 days, it's not like you can go out anywhere and get a meal.
Just take a load of space food sticks from
buffet?
Woolies.
Is there a disco? Is there karaoke?
It's all
What's
space
included?
food sticks. You just
Space
eat out.
food sticks.
Yeah, eat out of bags and pouches.
Great. Sounds lovely.
Then you pee into like wouldn't want to get confused with the thing you pee into and your oxygen mask, because I feel like they look a bit similar. Things like that. These are the things that keep me up at night, folks.
Great. It was a major leap in private space tourism, and as they mentioned in their promo, which is fantastic, they successfully flew a couple of people already, Dennis Tito in 2001 and Mark Shuttleworth.
Yes.
That's a good last name.
Convenient
Shuttleworth,
surname for somebody that's going into space. What's a Shuttleworth? Oh, a couple of million.
The plan was technically feasible. They'd done their feasibility study, done all their research, but it was the logistics and the medical side of it that was a little bit complicated. Yes. The travel insurance is just off the
Don't think
charts.
they'd let you go if you're pregnant somehow.
No, and if you drink, it's all null and void.
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
you can't get the drinks package? Oh, well, the space one didn't happen anyway, the spacewalk. Right?
No.
That never took place.
Shame.
I think it was too risky, and I think, although if anyone was going to do it, you'd think the Russians would let you. Yeah, no problem. You get out there, you go spacewalk. And I think that there wasn't a willing candidate. Like, they're like, yeah, I want to go to space. And I was like, okay, cool. We take you on a spacewalk. Going, no, that. I'm not going in the space.
Why didn't Lance do it?
Lance Armstrong.
No, Bass.
Lance Bass.
Bass.
Didn't he have a heart murmur
But
or
I
something?
think he's fixed that now, because he's been aware of that for a couple of years now in the 20 years ago timeline.
I don't know what happens when you're a bit older, if you're allowed to go or
Surely
not.
he
Is there a certain
cashed up
age
enough,
group or
he could have
whatever?
done that
It's like a
instead.
certain height to be on the ride. Look, I'm not sure.
As we look forward into the future of space adventures, we are going to continue to develop our existing experiences, but we'll also add a wonderful mid-priced option that people will be able to purchase and experience for the first time. And that's a suborbital spaceflight. Participants will be able to reach over 100 kilometers, experience a few minutes of weightlessness, and marvel at the Earth below. But most of all, they will get their astronaut wings by having actually reached the border of space.
Oh, it's so glorious.
Sold.
Actually reaching the
Take
border
my
of space.
billion.
Do you do that when you go to like the border of like New South Wales and
Take a
Victoria
photo.
or whatever?
Or you
No,
stand 1 foot on either
stand
side.
1 foot on either side.
Yeah,
Outer
we used
space,
to do that as kids.
Earth. Outer space, Earth.
We
Yeah.
thought that was great.
That'd be
the Albury-Wodonga border
That'd be
was a
worth
favourite.
$100 million, wouldn't it?
Albury-Wodonga with the fruit fly. That was a
yeah,
favourite.
of course.
Yeah.
So you got to throw all the stuff in the bins before you drive across the border. They didn't do too bad. They sent, between 2001 and 2009, they sent 7 tourists into space.
Well, that was the other 2. They already had the 2 that we talked about,
yeah,
the
including
Shuttleworth.
that. That's right. But after 2010, it started to slow down a bit. It was, I think I'm not sure. I think it was the ship Roscoe Cosmos. It or the company, they had reduced seat availability due to bigger needs for the crew. They wanted to take more space food sticks with them or something like that. In 2020, they partnered again with a company called Roscoe Cosmos, and they flew Yusako Miyazawa and their assistant Yozo Hirano to the ISS in 2021. They didn't do anything in 2022, and as of now, they're still active, but SpaceX Crew Dragons probably, and Blue Origin, the guy, Jeff Bezos and his big giant
Oh, is that
dildo,
what his was called?
the
Blue
dildo that he
Origin.
flies into space. Yeah, Virgin Galactic as well.
Got one as well.
Yeah, so I think that's, the focus has moved a little bit as well to lunar flyby planning and orbital private missions. For
Well,
those guys.
SpaceX ended up getting that big record
and the spacewalk as well.
last year, September 12th. To 2024, first civilian to step outside a spacecraft.
Yeah, Jared Isaacman was his name.
And then SpaceX engineer Sarah Gillis
Yes,
followed
was
him.
the youngest person ever in
the
space
youngest.
after that. So it's like, I'll be the first civilian, you can be the youngest civilian. They're
Yeah,
like,
that
deal,
works
okay,
well.
fair enough. I don't want it. So they kind of split the glory, which I think was nice. And they were out there for a while. They were out there for like an hour and 46 minutes. 10 minutes tethered via umbilicals, nearly 870 miles above the Earth, the farthest anyone has ventured in space since the Apollo missions. And again, I say, F that. Let's do sport. You're a cricket fan, aren't you, Mel? You like it about as much as you like NASCAR, I think, don't you?
No, I don't like cricket. Although I do have some nice memories of staying down at Maloney's Beach in the summer, and my uncle was obsessed with cricket. And he'd come and stay with us for a couple of days with my cousins, and we'd have to sit there and watch it. And
What's the cricket? Get the
I
score.
don't know. I think because he was into it, we all got a little bit caught up, and that was the Merv days, and we didn't mind Merv.
The good old days.
And the zinc cream. And so we all wore zinc cream when we're at the beach, because we're like, that's cool. Those guys are wearing zinc. We're going to do it too.
It protects you from the sunburn.
So that's about my connection with cricket. French cricket, I'm pretty good at that.
I think like 20 years ago, Warnie.
Warnie
I mean, we got a
news.
Warnie story. 11th of August 2005, the third Ashes test at Old Trafford. Shane Warne, the great Shane Warne, becomes the first bowler in history to take 600 test wickets.
What's that done? Now then, yes, out. 600 test match wickets for Shane Warne. What a moment.
The whole ground is standing, but I fancy it's not so much for Marcus Trescothick, but for Shane Warne. 600th wicket has come off slightly unorthodox fashion, off the back of Trescothick's bat, onto Adam Gilchrist's knee and up into his gloves. And the end of Marcus Trescothick. And what a moment for the great leg spinner.
Yes, it was an awkward catch by Gilchrist, but a catch nonetheless. And, of course, Marcus
still counts.
Trescothick, who attempted to sweep the ball and edged it off the back of his bat into Gilchrist's knee and then his hands, which marked the landmark wicket. It was pitched outside off stump, turned in sharply. Wasn't perfect. Warnie doesn't mind. I think anything Warnie does is pretty much perfect anyway. And the crowd didn't either. He was very happy, and he was mobbed by his teammates, and everyone applauded him. It was great.
Warnie wore zinc well. He wore zinc, always on his lips and
he
then
did.
his nose.
He did. He had very fair complexion.
Very
He needed
confident
to
with his
protect
zinc
it.
cream, wasn't he?
Yeah. Well, you know, he's got to protect his lips.
Did you ever
used to use them a lot when he was off the field.
Did you ever do that when you had because remember we got in the 80s and 90s, you got the fluoro zinc.
Yeah.
And there was like orange and pink and green. Did you ever be like a bit of a smart ass and do designs on your face, like dots and stripes? We did that and then got horribly sunburnt, and we were stuck with those stupid patterns on our faces for weeks.
I did. I painted my face up like the Ultimate Warrior from the wrestling. and as a consequence, I had like I was inverted, so I had like this sunburn goatee thing going on.
I had dots and
Sunburn
stripes and
goatee.
zarks and all kinds of things, and I had to go back to school with it.
Yeah, same. I just had like this beetroot red goatee.
It's all Warnie's
Very
fault.
weird.
Thanks, Warnie.
Swollen lips as well. I should have used some zinc cream. Anyway, well done with Warnie on that. I think it was the third test. I believe that was a draw, or that match ended in a draw anyway, which made the series 1-1 entering into the test. England posted 444 runs. Warne finished with figures of 4 for 99 in that innings, picked up 3 more wickets in England's first innings across the second day, and then he scored 90 runs off 122 balls to help Australia reach 302 and salvage a draw, which was a big deal. But unfortunately, England won the Ashes that year, 2-1, which we'll probably talk about a bit later on.
He waves to the crowd. Not just one of the greatest cricketers to have played the game, but one of the greatest personalities.
I got that music in the charts. It goes,
Oh, you like that Ludacris song, Blueberry Yum Yum?
I don't know. Mel was just trying to off-air explain to me a ludicrous song, and that was...
Yeah, it's good. I'd never heard it up until, like I said, about 3 weeks ago, Blueberry Yum
Have
Yum.
I heard it now? I'm not sure.
Probably not.
Anyway, it's the music segment. Sorry. Yeah.
Something you have heard, still number one in Australia, Crazy Frog.
Crazy Flog. That's what people refer to me as. Isn't that a podcast with that crazy flog? He's so annoying. That's enough.
Same number one over in the UK.
You're beautiful.
Also enough.
Not same as in Crazy Frog.
No.
Same as in same as last
song
week.
as last week. James Blunt there.
And top 5 in the US.
I got a cute face, chubby waist. Never go wrong if you let me hold you. Now like a real friend's supposed to. I'm trying to show you the light.
Don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me? Oh. Don't you wish your girlfriend was a freak like me? Like me? Don't you? Mr. DJ, somebody replay. Mr. DJ, won't you turn the music up on the air when they dance for wanting some more? Mr. DJ, won't you dance? Who's gonna take your place? There ain't nobody better. Oh, baby, baby, we belong together.
Yeah, that's is that it's just moved around a little bit from last week.
I think it's all the same songs. Yes, We
Yes,
Belong
it is.
Together, Mariah Still number 1, Pondy Replay number 2, Don't You number 3,
Yes,
Let Me Hold You number 4.
See, and this is the
Lose Control
thing.
number 5.
It's 2 weeks, like I said in the intro. It's like 2 weeks between.
Yeah, I can't remember what happened
when
2
we
weeks
record.
ago.
Like
I've got no
today, I'm talking to you today. It's the same week that Hulk Hogan and Ozzy Osbourne.
Well, we tell the same anecdotes and stories sometimes because
I
I
know.
listen to one and I go, I'm pretty sure I said that last time.
Maybe. How,
when I
how
listen back.
long suffering are our listeners?
Yeah,
They're so
sorry.
nice.
Sorry
They're
if you
just
hear the
like,
same
"Oh,
stories
God
again.
bless them.
Here they go again.
Yeah, all 30-something of you, thanks.
Well, this is what happens when
Appreciate
you get
this.
older. You tell the same stories.
Uh-huh.
That's all right. They're
Yeah.
good stories
Yeah.
sometimes. We haven't, I know we
They
haven't
are.
spoken about the Bow Wow song, Let Me
Oh,
Hold
okay.
You. We spoke about the album.
Yeah.
When he dropped the little
Yeah.
and moved to
And just
Bow
became
Wow.
Bow
We had
Wow.
that discussion.
Bow Wow.
We had that
Where his
discussion. We talked about him
his
on the
bark
cameo.
broke. Yeah.
Where he's on the cameo. So we haven't spoken about the song. So
How
this
much
is
was
the
he?
one.
He was like $1,000 or something.
He was a bit spendy.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, he's just released a new song with Chris Brown.
So we don't know. We don't know if
think-
we like him anymore.
Well, I don't know. I feel like the world's maybe forgiven Chris Brown. I don't know. I still have feelings. But anyway, he's been doing a lot of stuff. So that's why he's expensive. That's the thing. Cameo, they're usually cheaper if they just haven't been doing much.
Or if they've been doing stuff
Or
at
they
a
haven't been touring or
bit of a different level. Yeah.
Yeah. If they're doing a cruise, maybe a bit cheaper than if they're doing sold out stadium
Right,
tours.
okay,
So yeah,
right.
Bow Wow's a little bit spendy on the cameo. But this song, Let Me Hold You, this was the one featuring Omarion from B2K.
I'm a moron.
Your favourite, yes, from Boys of the New Millennium, I think
Is that what B2K is? Boys of the New
Boys
Millennium.
of the New Millennium.
It's a complex abbreviation.
It is. That's not, B2K just doesn't scream Boys of the New
No,
Millennium.
I'm not
to
sure
me.
what that is.
It should have been BY2K.
Yeah.
Then I probably would have said Boys of 2000, but that's closer. B2K just feels like a measurement,
Maybe.
doesn't it?
Yeah, or
Feels like something you'd measure out for your recipe. That'll be a B2K of flour or something. I don't know.
Really?
Just feels like a measurement.
a B2K of flour.
Yeah, maybe.
I guess.
I don't know.
Like back in a tick. Or something. I'm reaching here.
Oh,
I'm trying
maybe it's
to
text
be.
speak.
I'm trying to be supportive.
No, I've got nothing.
It sounds like a basketball game, like some kind of basketball game that maybe.
Oh,
came
maybe a
out in-
position.
in
You know,
the-
like
I was gonna
goalkeeper,
say-
like GK.
I was going to
You're
say
the
in the year 2000,
B2K.
B2K.
You're the
Well,
B2K
you
on
can
the
see it
team.
on a netball bib.
Yeah, you're the B2K.
On a netball bib. What position would B2K be on a netball bib? I'm not even
You're a
necessarily.
blocker.
I'm not
You're
even
blocking
sure.
the number 2 keeper. You're the blocker of the number 2 keeper.
Blocking the number 2 keeper.
Yes.
Which basically means that you don't let anyone go into the toilets.
Bow Wow, lead single from
I'm
his
glad
album
that we got
Wanted.
to the bottom of that.
Yeah.
You know, it took a bit, but I feel like it was worth it.
Yeah, okay. I
Yeah.
take back the measurement. I like your definition better. Yep. Lead single from his album Wanted after he ditched the Lil.
Yeah.
This is actually the first top 10 hit, can you believe it, for both Bow Wow and Omarion as a solo artist. B2K had a number one, but this is
he's not,
solo
that's not a
Omarion.
solo artist then.
Well, he is a solo artist. He's featuring.
Oh, Bow Wow.
Bow
was a
Wow,
solo artist.
yes.
Not Omarion as a solo
No,
artist.
Omarion's a solo. So this is
He's
the
a solo
first.
artist.
Okay. Let's start
it
again.
doesn't make sense.
This is the first top 10 hit for Bow Wow.
Yeah.
As Bow Wow, Little Bow Wow, any type of Bow Wow. First Bow Wow top 10.
Right, first Bow Wow top 10.
And first
top 10.
And first top 10 for Omarion as a solo artist. So the solo artist applies to Omarion only, not
okay.
to Bow Wow. Bow Wow's always been solo.
Right. Yes.
Omarion, this is the first time he's in the top 10 when he's not in the blocking the
Right. And what
toilet
does
keeper.
B2K stand for again?
Boys of the New Millennium.
Oh, okay.
Boys of the New Millennium. The music video was directed by Brian Barber and it stars Bow Wow and Omarion at a house party and allegedly they're navigating interpersonal drama and flirtation.
Oh, right.
That's what the synopsis said.
Well, that makes things...
Watch
yes.
as they navigate interpersonal drama and flirtation.
With hilarious results.
Jermaine Dupri pops up.
Oh, in a
He's
cameo.
a notable visual.
Yes.
Notable visual.
Notable visual,
Jermaine
yeah. Oh, look,
Dupri.
there's a Jermaine Dupri.
Yes, points for spotting. And a young Future before he rose to fame.
Young Future.
Future.
Oh, Future's his
the
name.
rapper. We've spoken about
Future's his
before
name.
and felt that was a weighty name.
Problematic name.
Just,
Problematic.
Don't call yourself Future. And the video ends on a cliffhanger, which is directly continued in his next video, Like You.
The
Can't
sequel.
wait till Like You hits the top 5 and then we can talk about how the interpersonal drama and flirtation continues.
Continues, yes.
TBC.
What will become of Little Bow Wow and I'm a Moron?
To be continued.
Will they be prevented from entering the bathroom by the B2K? I don't know. I've got nothing, really.
That was great. I enjoyed that. Tommy Lee released an album
he
as
did.
well this week, 20
Tommy
years ago.
Lee was popular. I think he released...
He popped back up 20
Well,
years
his
ago. He was just sort of
autobiography-
hanging around a bit,
Yeah,
wasn't he?
and he was just like a cool dude. And his
Yeah.
autobiography came out, Tommyland.
Yes. The reality show, which we'll talk about next week, is just about to come out.
So he's got his reality show where he goes to college. So with that, he's released his second solo album called The Ride. And this is a pop album, really. It's a pop rock album. He joined forces with a big roster. He had
Lots
Butch
of people.
Walker. He did Good Times with Butch Walker. Andrew McMahon did Hello Again. Chad Kroger, Trying to Be
Oh, the
Me
Krogs.
from Nickelback. Dave Navarro, Joel Madden, Nick Carter, Matt Sorum,
Backstreet
Derek
Boy.
Whibley. Yeah. So there was a lot of different stuff on there. And I think the one that everyone kind of really would remember, if at all, only because it was the theme on the show as well, it was Good Times.
Oh, that takes me back to I used to voice the promos for Tommy
not a
Lee
bad
Goes
song.
to College. That was the theme song, and I used to do the promos. And we in Australia, we obviously got it a bit later.
Yeah.
And we aired it on the same night as Pamela's show Stacked. And so the
really?
promo was
Pam and Tommy.
Pammy and Tommy Lee are together again,
Oh,
Thursdays on Prime.
That's gold.
Loved it.
That's good.
Yeah, it was
That's
good.
very good.
It was good. Tommy Lee Goes to College, followed by Stacked.
Stacked.
From
well,
7:30
yeah.
on Prime.
I think that Tommy, I mean, he was trying to do this pop thing. And the unfortunate thing is he was in his early to mid 40s at this stage. So
yes.
he's trying to appeal to a younger audience and it's just like, it's just a little bit creepy old man.
It's a bit pesty. Yeah.
Bit
of a
pesty.
pest.
Borderline, I would say.
Yeah,
Borderline.
dad.
Tommy Lee's still kind of cool. But like just
It's like the old dude that, you know, at the mature age student at uni that goes to bar night and just kind of lurks.
yeah,
And you're like,
starting to
he puts his dollar down on the pool table and you're like, I don't know if I want to play
getting
pool
into
with
that
you.
territory, isn't it? But I would say it's like he was trying something I think that a lot of people in the business weren't doing at the time, and it was more of a multimedia project. So he had a plan.
Yeah.
So, and I think this is like, you know, before streaming and all of those things. So he's got an album, he's got a book, he's got a TV show, and he's trying to.
Is that the one that's told from the point of view of his?
Oh yeah, he has it.
Old fella?
He interviews his penis in the book. Yeah, he has a conversation
Quite
with
an
his penis
interesting
in the
book,
book.
yeah.
It's actually not a bad read.
It's not terrible.
To be honest with
I
you.
read it when we were like going filming. We had a long drive.
There's a childlike stupidity to it all, as there is to just Tommy Lee in general. But yeah, like he's got this plan. He's got a 3-pronged attack, which is good because Tommy's only been really renowned for one prong. Music news. Okay.
Yes.
So we're still was that music news? No, that was an album release.
That was an album release. But we had a big story.
Is music news.
Walking in Memphis, was walking with my feet 10 feet off a beam. Walking in Memphis, but do I really feel the way I feel? Walking in
I loved that song.
And you're like, why are you playing Walking in Memphis? Like,
I
that's
don't
a 90s
care. I'm
song.
not going to ask you why. You've just taken me back to video hits back in the day. Loved that song.
Muriel plays piano every Friday at the Hollywood. Reverend Green will be glad to see you.
Something waiting for down in the jungle room.
And are you a Christian child? Man, I am tonight. Yeah,
yes.
Walking in Memphis.
Great.
Well, Mark Cohn, the singer of Walking in Memphis, on the 7th of August, was shot in the head.
I never knew this.
He was shot in the head.
I loved that song, but I never knew he got shot in the head.
He was on tour with Suzanne Vega.
My name is Luca. I live on the second floor.
Luca. My name is Luca. I live on the second floor. G'day, my name's Mark. I've been for a walk in Memphis. And how's it going, Luca? They're in Denver. They're on tour in Denver, Colorado, and somebody tries to carjack him as he is and his entourage are getting into the van after a concert.
Why would you carjack the singer?
Well, the carjacker fires a shot into the van. The bullet goes through the windshield, grazes the tour manager's chin and lodged itself just short of Cohen's skull near his right temple, narrowly missing his eye.
So
he was shot in the head.
Jeez.
Yes, and he was conscious through the entire thing.
Gosh.
So they took him to the medical center, the ambulance, all of that sort of stuff. I mean, I'll let him.
I heard Mark say, "My God, I think I've been hit." I touched myself and there was blood all over my hands. So this thought that, oh my God, I'm not going to get home. It was terror, disbelief, and just, a prayer. Just please don't let this be it.
And I could see a perfectly round hole in his head, which I knew had to be a bullet.
And Shane said, yes, it's all right, man. It's all right. Now, I've been traveling with Shane for 7 or 8 years, so I know him pretty well. And I heard his words, but his face said, it's not all right.
Yeah.
Oh
Could you imagine?
What would be going through your mind?
Well, they've obviously dispensed with it. Well, a piece of lead.
Yeah.
They've dispensed with the carjacker. Obviously, I guess he's not in the picture anymore. He's obviously fired the gun and then run off.
Yeah.
And it's lodged it lodged itself in his temple, and because I think the windshield combined with the chin of the tour manager.
Thank God for the chin. It must have been a robust chin.
It slowed the bullet down enough so that it lodged itself in his head, but it stopped at his skull.
The chin slowed it down.
Yes, and the window.
That's crazy.
It is. And Reverend Green would have been glad to see him. He had a prayer that night, like he said. So yeah, he's conscious through the whole thing at the medical centre, and then they observe him for 8 hours, and then they let him go. They didn't take the bullet out.
Oh,
that
they
happened
left it
later.
in there.
Yes. Yeah, they took it out a little bit later. Well, they had to have surgery, so they just put him under observation. They went
walking around with a bullet.
Well,
in your
it's
head.
in there, but you'll be all right. I mean, it's kind of a good conversation piece. Jeez. Yeah, it is what you think it is.
Yeah, that's a bullet.
That's a bullet. Yeah. How did it happen? I'm glad you asked. So the doctors are like, he's the luckiest unlucky guy that they've ever seen. So, I mean, I guess that's fairly true. The shooter himself, Joseph Yaktine, his name was, 36 years in prison for attempted first-degree murder for trying to shoot the Walking in Memphis guy.
Walking in Memphis.
What the f*** were you thinking?
US box office number one this week, 20 years ago, Dukes of Hazzard.
Son of a mother of...
Holy!
Meet the Dukes.
Y'all think you can catch me now?
When it comes to the law, Well, Dukes. Bo and Luke are against it.
That's what I'm talking about!
Cousin Daisy works it.
Oh boy, I'm gonna get fired.
Where's Boss Hog?
At your farm.
Thank you, Anus.
And Uncle Jesse just won't stand for it. Johnny Knoxville.
I'm Mr. Ichinawa, and this is Yoko Takanoshi.
Are you Japanese? We converted.
Sean William Scott.
Boys, this is my roommate from Australia.
Let's put another shrimp on the barbie. That's what they say there.
Okay.
Jessica Simpson.
Better be reading my name tag, friend.
I noticed your initials were double D.
How about special, sir?
Burt Reynolds.
Find the Dukes.
And Willie Nelson.
I'll see you on the other side.
The Dukes of Hazzard.
What seems to be the problem, Shirley?
I think something bounced up into my undercarriage.
Oh, I really enjoyed this movie. I really liked
you
it.
did.
I really enjoyed it. And it was, I don't think it'd get made today.
No, it was a very early 2000s kind of remake, wasn't it? It was very loud, very busy. Lots of boob, lots of butts.
It was great.
Reboot
there was
of
no
the
nudity in it.
80s TV show.
Yeah.
There was a lot of flesh on display.
Yeah, it was great. It's really enjoyable. It was just a very pleasant film from start to finish. Had a bit of everything, bit of action, bit of comedy, bit of flesh.
Moonshine.
Yeah, it was great.
Obviously Jessica Simpson. And,
Big, dumb popcorn fun. It was really, I mean, you know, the Dukes of Hazzard story. All those people that would have watched the show would have been thrilled. I thought the casting for this was great. I thought that Johnny Knoxville as Luke Duke and Sean William Scott as Bo Duke were awesome casting. I thought Burt Reynolds as Boss Hogg was genius, and I thought Willie Nelson as Uncle Jesse was just the most adorable thing ever. And then Jessica Simpson as Daisy Duke. I don't think that they could have picked a more perfect Daisy Duke.
You liked her.
I thought she was
Daisy.
great as Daisy, but I think it was problematic on set.
I think there was a lot of criticism for over sexualizing Daisy because her character wasn't traditionally like that.
No.
And I think the actress that played the original Daisy was not overly
happy with the
impressed
treatment.
with that. There was a lot of lowbrow.
I mean, it was a trashy
humour.
80s TV show.
I think too there was a bit of chatter about some diva behaviour from her. Whether or not that was true or rumour, I don't know.
She was quite big
But
at the time.
They did say
big at the time.
difficult on set.
I think the song
Boots
and
Are
the
Made
film
for
clip,
Walking.
that really did overshadow. It was designed obviously to promote the film, but I think it promoted her more than the film.
And there
I
was
think
that
that's what
scene.
everyone got really shitty about.
And that scene as well where
Yeah.
she's washing the car and just, I think, took the spotlight from the film itself and felt that the movie was a bit of a vehicle to promote her music and all of her other interests that were happening at the time.
And I think when you
she
talk
wasn't-
about like vehicles as well, you've got like, you know, the Confederate flag painted on the
that
roof
was
of the car,
also,
which is
yes,
a little bit
also
problematic these days.
And I don't think she was really a trained actress either. So I think she did struggle to act. She struggled with the tone and the style of the movie. And I think some of the more experienced actors were
I don't think the
overly
actors got on all
impressed.
that well with her.
Yeah.
I don't think so. And I think Willie Nelson was just Willie Nelson.
He was
the
just
entire
having a
time.
great time,
Having a great time.
in the trailer.
Could you imagine being Willie Nelson on the set of that? You've got Johnny Knoxville and Sean William Scott driving around in cars, carrying on stupid, doing heaps of stunts. You've got Jessica Simpson parading around in a bikini, you know, behaving like a diva the entire time, and probably entourage and management and all that stuff. And there's Willie Nelson just sitting in his caravan, smoking joints, just going,
Having
this
a great
is
time.
freaking great.
Yeah, and I'm getting paid for
Having
this.
such a
Fabulous.
good time. So good.
Here in Australia, The Island is still number one. On the small screen, though, we had a really, really big reality debut with the Girls Next Door / Girls of the Playboy Mansion.
We watched this show so much. We enjoyed it.
Loved it.
Yeah, I thought it was
loved
pretty good too.
It used
Yep.
to be on, it was on a Tuesday after I got home from yoga.
It was a simpler time. You'd come home and just watch this trashy reality TV, of which this was obviously The Osbournes,
And I think with this
Hogan
one,
Knows Best, all of those shows.
I think with this one, at first, we didn't really know what to expect because, so in America, it was called The Girls Next Door because Playboy Mansion was so big over there, the term the girls next door made sense.
Synonymous with.
And so they wanted, for an international audience, they felt that they had to be more explicit and
more
put
literal.
the word Playboy Mansion in there. And I remember when they were advertising it on, was it E or one of those channels? And I remember thinking, or VH1, I remember thinking, what? Playboy Mansion? What the heck is this going to be about? I was so confused. And then it came on and these three women were all just so likable. I loved it.
Yeah, they were good characters. They were really good characters. And I don't know. I mean, I'm quite cynical about it these days. I don't know if they were cast or whatever. But you had Kendra Wilkinson, who was the more tomboy, sporty character.
I'm very competitive when I play sports. I don't care what sport it is. When I walked onto the court, I'm like, this is so cool. With all these people watching me play tennis. Pep's the best guy to show off in front of. Everybody tries to get his attention. And I'm just one of those lucky people that he likes to watch.
And then you had so Kendra was the younger one.
And she was the one that just spoke her mind. That's what I loved about her. And she got on with everyone. She was always so lovely to all the staff in the mansion.
Yes.
And she just hilarious.
And then you had Bridget, who I guess she was a little bit more ditzy.
Yeah.
But very wholesome.
Yeah.
Very just all round nice kind of girl.
One of the actors came over to me and he said, "Do you see where this is going?" And I was like, "Not really." "Well, you're going to need this." And he hands me a shiny silver gun and he's like, "You need to hide it." And I'm like, "Okay. Oh my God."
Yeah, she was very enthusiastic.
Yeah, and she was into...
It's like a cheerleader.
But she was into ghost stories and haunted houses and things like that too.
Yeah.
And she had remember she had that collection of spooky dolls in her room?
Yeah, but she was kind of a bit Disney as well. She's a bit Disney, a bit kind of Tim Burton. But then you had the alpha. The alpha.
Love
the
her.
alpha bunny, Holly Madison.
I don't get jealous of other girls because I was raised in a cloning lab to be the perfect woman for Hugh M. Hefner. So other than the fact that my IQ is probably a little higher than he would like, I have nothing to worry about.
And no, she didn't either. But she was like his main squeeze. Or
She was girlfriend number one. And I think
as the alpha.
Wasn't it even that when they were out together, she sat in a certain spot next to him, like she was on the left or the right? I don't know which one, but
she
that was her place.
there.
She had to be the one that was right next to him.
Yes.
And I think because Kendra came in a bit later than the other two, and I think Holly was there first.
Yeah.
But she made it very clear that she was girlfriend number one, and I think in her mind, she was waiting for that proposal. I think she truly believed that there was a proposal coming for her.
I don't know. In hindsight, I feel like, and obviously there's been a lot of stuff when you look at the rearview mirror for this one, but I feel like it was quite manufactured. And I feel like it was more about probably working that Playboy brand more so than the personalities. But what ended up happening is the personalities of these girls won over. The brand of Playboy played second fiddle to the personalities of the girls, and then you'd break it right down and you'd be like, oh, well, what the am I actually watching? Like, these three young girls are in this relationship with this old man, and you're expecting me to believe that? And you're expecting me to believe that they're not gold diggers or they're not after fame or fortune or whatever, and you're expecting me to believe that they actually have relations with this guy? I'm not buying it.
I tried not to think about that.
But you have to. That's the foundation for the whole thing.
I just loved them. I loved the parties and the events. They were just crazy for decorating. They loved a theme. Like, if I was ever going to throw a big party, I'd get them as party planners. Like, they were so good at decorating and catering. They went on amazing adventures overseas, the travel with pretty strict rules, though, I remember. Like, they weren't allowed to drink, or they were only allowed to have one or two drinks. And
the whole thing
had to be back by a certain time. Remember, they had to be back by a certain time or they'd get in trouble.
They had a lot of controls put on them, for sure. And I think that was the thing for guys. Like, guys are watching and he's this crotchety old dude, and he's got three girls like this, and you're just like, mate, like, really?
And I think over the years we've found out more and more, and I actually feel a bit guilty for enjoying it so much now, because a lot of the not just the three, but a lot of other girls of the mansion have come out and said what it was actually like behind the scenes.
So this confuses me because this happened posthumously. I'm not fully across this, so I might end up putting my foot in it here. But I felt like it was a bit weird to kind of use this as your vehicle to obtain fame, right? Become known because of this show, become known because of the Playboy brand or whatever. And then once Hugh Hefner's in the grave and he has got no right of reply, all of a sudden then the stories start coming out.
It could be, though, they might have signed NDAs and maybe the NDA lasted with his lifetime potentially.
Well, that is, look, it's a very litigious society and I'm a pretty simple guy.
Maybe they couldn't be sued at that point. I don't know. But also, I mean, look at the ages. They were early 20s and I mean, think about your early 20s and if you got offered a reality show where you were living in the Playboy Mansion and didn't mind getting your boobs out a bit, like
you'd consent.
You'd consent
to all of it, wouldn't you? You'd consent to all of it. This is better than where I've maybe come from.
And I guess when you look at some of the other things that people are doing now on things like OnlyFans and making money, like how different is it really? But it did, I think Holly brought out a couple of books. There was one called Down the Rabbit Hole, which revealed emotional manipulation, the rules, and a lot of dysfunction inside the mansion. Kendra obviously had her own spin-off reality show. I think that was with her husband at the time, but then went through a pretty messy divorce.
Yeah.
Was he a basketballer? He was a basketballer.
Kendra.
Yeah, the guy that she was with, his last name was Bucket or something, wasn't it? Something
Hank Basket.
Oh, Basket.
No, he's an NFL player.
Oh, well, it was a sport and it was a basket,
He's
not a bucket.
an NFL player. Hank
anyway.
Basket. Yeah. I guess too, like these guys they've not come from rich backgrounds or wealth or anything like that. So they've moved to, it's that classic story of, it's like something out of a glam metal song from like the 80s, right? It's like coming to LA to find fame and fortune and, you know, and then you get it somehow and you might not agree with it wholeheartedly, but you find out you're in the middle of it before you even realise what's going on.
I always remember the episode when Kendra's mum came to visit.
Yeah.
And she was just as starstruck and she was just so proud of her baby doing this and being there. And it was almost like, did you encourage her to do it? It was quite an interesting
like if
dynamic.
you're a parent and your daughter brought home Hugh Hefner.
Yeah.
Whoa, man.
Kendra's mum thought it was great. And Holly obviously went on to do Holly's World, her show in Vegas.
Yeah.
She hosts a podcast at the moment with Bridget and they do behind the scenes
so they're still
on
mates.
the episodes.
There you go.
And has a daughter, pretty low-key. I don't think Kendra still talks to the other two though. But yeah, I think Bridget may have done some acting and she's definitely into the ghost stuff still. I think she may have married a director of a horror film, Nicholas Carpenter.
Yes.
Is he horror? Yeah,
Yes.
horror royalty.
Yeah, he's like John Carpenter's son.
There you go.
Very famous director. Very strong bloodline with horror films, the Carpenters. Not the band, not Why Do Birds Suddenly Appear Every Time You Are Near. Not those Carpenters. The other ones. Yeah. And I think, Kendra's got a real estate show now. She sells real estate and she's got a show called Kendra Sells Hollywood.
Yeah, she pops up on my socials from time to time and she's done a lot of body positivity stuff as well because she's had a lot of criticism over how she looks over the years and she's just sort of turned around and gone, well, F you, this is me and, you know.
And I think you're right too. I do think, you know, in your early 20s, as much as you are classified as an adult, you make stupid decisions and you do allow yourself to be groomed and manipulated. There is no doubt. And
it was obviously positioned as a very glamorous lifestyle. And I think, the three of them in one of the episodes ended up doing a Playboy shoot. So it wouldn't have surprised me, even if they weren't his girlfriends, that they probably were still interested in being Playboy models anyway. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I do kind of feel guilty now that I enjoyed it so much after hearing, I guess, the impacts that it's had on them later in life.
Yeah, exactly. I think they'd be spending most of their time running around that mansion trying to hide those blue tablets. Books that we did not read.
No, New York Times bestseller.
I wonder what value people find in this segment sometimes. They're like, okay.
I enjoy it.
So the concept
I enjoy
is
it. I don't
that
care
they're
if
going
no
to
one
sit
else
here and
likes it.
talk about books that they didn't read. I have a really good time. And I loved it when Lois dropped in a couple of weeks ago as well. That was wonderful.
That was very special, wasn't it?
It was incredibly special.
I just love that people go onto Goodreads and I just love the things that they write. So, I don't care if no one else likes it. I enjoy it.
Yeah, good.
Enjoy finding out about these books and what people think. Lifeguard. This is
I've been
very
seeing
close to me.
Lois's-
I was a lifeguard
I've been seeing
once. Did
Lois's
you know
car
that?
parked outside our house just every day.
Oh,
But,
she knows what
you were a
we're doing.
lifeguard once.
I was a lifeguard once, so I feel
Really?
a connection to this.
Did you have
book
like a
called The
little
Lifeguard.
red
I did.
flotation device
I
that
did.
you ran with?
I
Are
held
you
it.
kidding?
I've got a photo of me with
And
it.
it was on a rope?
Yes.
And
Yes,
did
it was
you-
like Baywatch,
Did
just
you
like
run in
Baywatch.
slow motion?
No,
Oh,
no. But it's just other than
Really?
that, exactly the same as Baywatch.
It's worth
exactly
the price
the
of
same.
admission.
Looks
Have
just
you-
like
Did you
Pamela.
have a red swimsuit as well?
No, it was a Speedo. It was black Speedo.
Oh, yeah.
So that was the rules, had to wear a black Speedo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know how good I would have been if someone was actually drowning. I don't think I would have been very good.
Maybe we could
But I held it
role
well.
play it later on if you like, just to see.
Would you like some chest compressions?
Yes,
would
I'll be
you?
the judge of that. I'll be happy to compress them. Sorry, what are we talking about? Oh, a book.
Lifeguard by
Yes.
James Patterson
it's
and
called,
Andrew.
the book is called
Is
Lifeguard.
it Andrew Gross or Andrew Gross? I'm saying Gross.
Depends on what side of the, I don't know.
What do you say?
So the book's called Lifeguard.
Lifeguard by James Patterson. We've spoken about James Patterson before.
We
Very
have spoken
popular in the
about
early
James
2000s.
Patterson. Yeah, I'm just, I guess we need to do a synopsis, don't we?
Yes,
What are we
please.
thinking? Is it like,
Well, the first sentence says the wildest thriller yet, so I'm guessing thriller.
okay, so maybe like something like this then, I think.
Yes, perfect.
The wildest thriller yet from, quote, one of America's most influential authors in the New York Times. Okay. Working as a lifeguard at a luxurious Florida resort, Ned Kelly. What?
You cannot call a character
no.
Ned Kelly.
Stop. Hold
That's
the phone.
trademarked, surely. That's a trademark infringement.
I'm not liking this already.
Wow.
Ned Kelly meets the woman of his dreams. It feels perfect in every way, except for the fact that Ned Kelly
Ned
is not a lifeguard at a luxurious Florida
Imagine
resort.
him trying to rescue someone in that helmet. He'd sink.
Well, I think that's that he could retrieve them off the bottom of the pool quite easily, couldn't he? Yes. It feels perfect in every way, apparently, except that she's used to caviar and Manolo Blahniks, and I don't know what that is. And,
Shoes.
Oh, they're shoes, are they? Manolo Blahniks, they're shoes.
Yes.
Right, caviar and shoes. That's a weird fetish, isn't it?
They're expensive shoes.
Yes,
Very
it's even scarier. Caviar
Sex and the City.
and
The
shoes.
Sarah Jessica Parker made them
Oh, really?
famous in Sex and the City.
What did she wear them on her face? Sorry.
Wow.
And
Get back to your synopsis.
Ned Kelly's used to burgers and flip-flops and, heists, shooting
shit.
people and
Yeah.
wearing, metal on his body. So when Ned's cousin offers to cut him in on a fast break and enter job, this is sounding more
Okay,
Ned
now,
Kelly.
yes, that's
Of course
a
he
Ned
can't
vibe.
turn it down. It's in his DNA. The risk is high, the reward is even greater, $5 million, but the robbery goes devastatingly wrong. Forced to run away from his town and the woman he's fallen in love with, Ned Kelly retreats to the town of Glen Rowan in the Wangaratta district. No, he doesn't, but he knows that only distance and secrecy can save his life. That's what happens. Who's chasing him? The FBI, whoever sabotaged the heist? Or is it all somehow tied into his new love and his oldest enemies? Or is he just rampagingly paranoid? Who knows? Find out in Lifeguard by James Patterson and Andrew Gross.
Gross.
Or Gross.
Bex, 1 star. Too many exclamation points, not enough lifeguarding.
Oh, yes. Lauren Derling, 1 star. I bet she does. This will be the first and last time I take a book recommendation from my husband. Yeah, Lauren, what do you think?
Well, maybe her husband owns a ute with such as life across the back of it.
He's
It's
like,
this is a book about Ned Kelly, love. You're gonna love it.
It's got Ned Kelly in it.
Probably some circle work.
And it's like a
Shooting
like
shit.
Yeah, it's like,
Be
what
great.
if Ned Kelly was a lifeguard? Wow.
Shelley 1 star.
Uh-huh.
The writing is clunky, there's gratuitous sex, and the ending is stupid.
Sorry, there's gratuitous sex should at least get an extra star. It should be at least 2 stars for that.
Stupid ending.
Becky, 1 star. I feel like Becky is like, oh my God.
Probably.
Not good at all. Extra bonus though. The book was in large print and I didn't have to wear my glasses. That is good.
Maybe not.
Warrants a star.
Rob, 1 star.
Right.
It makes no conceivable sense as to why Stratton hired a heist crew to steal art that he himself had sold weeks before. And his wife found out about the plan and stole a very valuable piece in order to blackmail him. This book should never have existed. I think Rob's just dropped a spoiler
Is
bomb.
it? Oh dear. You
But
can't
then-
do that's a massive faux pas on Goodreads. You can't drop spoilers in your
Normally,
reviews.
Goodreads blurs it out. And says,
Yeah, well, he
this is
didn't
blurred
there.
because of spoilers. But then Anne enters the chat and comments on Rob's review. Anne, it really annoys me when famous authors have their name printed on the cover of someone else's novels. So Anne is theorising that James didn't actually write the book.
Oh, so they just what?
So
That's a
she's
big
like,
call.
this is not James's modus
This is not James
operandi.
Patterson.
It's not.
Doesn't have his stank on it at all.
Not at all. Then Rob comes back on.
Oh,
to
Rob's back in.
Anne's comment. He's
He's thrown
one
her a
comment's
bone.
popped up in his notifications on the Goodreads.
Wow.
You have one comment on your review, and Rob's gone, yeah, I better go check this out. So then Rob replies to Anne, this could have been better if it had just been Andrew Gross. Thanks for the comment, Anne. Maybe we can talk sometime.
Yeah, go Rob.
That gratuitous sex.
Yeah, they could
He's hit
discuss
up
it in
Anne on the
detail.
Goodreads. Wow.
He wants to play lifeguard. He wants to role play some lifeguard.
I have not seen that happen before.
Really?
That's exciting, isn't it?
Ned Kelly is a lifeguard, my goodness. Just, I mean, he would be running in slow motion in that big lead outfit. Okay, hatches, matches and dispatches. It is the last segment of the show, the births, deaths and marriages segment where we do this. A celebrity who sadly passed away that said this.
I don't want to eat anybody. I just get so hungry. I'm just too big.
If you said Matthew McGrory, Mel will play the recorder for you. No. Yes.
I won't play the
That's it.
recorder.
No. Yeah, stop doing what? Oh my God. You would be correct.
What just happened?
Wow. Lots of things.
Wow.
Lots of things happened all at once. Matthew McGrory. And you're like, who's that?
Who's Matthew McGrory?
Well, that line there was from the movie Big Fish.
I'm just too big.
Did you ever think that maybe you're not too big? But maybe this town is just too small? Now, I've heard in real cities they've got buildings so tall you can't even see the tops of them.
Really?
I wouldn't lie to you. And all-you-can-eat buffets? Now, you can eat a lot, can't you?
I can.
So why are you wasting your time in a small town? You're a big man. You should be in a big city.
You're just trying to get me to leave, aren't you?
Yeah, that was the movie Big Fish, directed by Tim Burton with Ewan McGregor in it.
And
Great
he was
film.
a giant.
He played a giant. He was 7 foot 6 inches tall. Yeah.
Tallest actor. He was in the Guinness World Records book.
Yeah. So he's in Big Fish. He was in House of 1,000
Wait, hang
Corpses.
on. Guinness World Record book for being the tallest. He also held the record. So he's obviously in the Guinness World Records book twice
Yeah.
for the largest feet. He was size 29 and a half.
That's a big foot.
And he had the longest toe,
Really?
not due to a medical condition.
Do you reckon he was hanging around?
That's very specific, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you reckon he was
Longest toe, not due to a medical
Do you reckon
condition.
he was hanging around Manitoba a few weeks ago when that bloke was in the on the other side of the river?
Possibly.
Might have been mistaken for a Bigfoot. Yes, he was in, obviously, Big Fish. He was in House of 1,000 Corpses.
I don't think you gave the longest toe enough breathing
Directed
space.
by Rob Zombie. Well, I don't like letting toes breathe.
I'd really like to see the longest toe. I wonder
You
if
probably
he's got a photo
can.
of his
There
toe
probably
somewhere.
is. I reckon there would be. Why don't you try and find
Okay.
it? He was in The Devil's Rejects. He really liked Rob Zombie movies. He was in a few of them. He was in Bubble Boy as well, 2001, Men in Black 2. And he was also in Malcolm in the Middle, Charmed, Carnivale. He's been in music videos for Iron Maiden. He was in the music video of The Wicker Man.
Was he the Wicker Man? Because he's tall?
I
maybe?
don't think so. I think they might have put an Eddie costume on him, actually. Marilyn Manson's Coma White. He was in Blondie's Good Boys. And he was usually cast because of his size and his voice. He had that very deep voice. So he passed away, unfortunately, on the 9th of August in 2005 at age 32 from congestive heart failure.
Oh.
It was a big loss because his career was really on the rise. So he was definitely cut short in his prime and he was very sought after because of his size. Rob Zombie actually dedicated the printing of the Devil's Rejects DVD to him because he was a big fan of him. He worked with him quite often. Spoke very fondly of him, he did. Have you found his toe?
Is that him? Or is that just someone else with
That
big
is
toes?
him.
Well, there's his toe.
Yeah,
Hang on.
it's a big
Let me
toe.
zoom in. Oh, that is a big toe. Oh, he's got like nail problems.
Oh, that
I
is
guess that comes with big
That
toe
is a huge
territory.
toe, massive toe.
And the feet are big as well.
He's got very big feet.
That is a massive toe. And it's not due to a medical condition.
No.
There you go.
No.
I'm glad I've seen that.
You know what they say about big toes?
What?
Big toenails. Rest in peace, Matthew McGrory. And what have we got next week? Anything?
I think we've got some wild weather, do we?
Wild weather.
Wild weather
sounds
Bit of a
great.
weather event.
Oh, and you know what else? Madonna she falls off a horse.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
Madonna falls off a horse, and it's got nothing to do with the photo shoot for her next book. That's it. You can come and find us on the socials, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Search for T-20 Podcast. We're on YouTube as well. All of that stuff. We love you. Thank you so much for listening to us and downloading our little show each and every week. At the time of recording this time, nothing else bad has happened, but I don't know. I mean, I'm concerned that perhaps something might happen to the girls of the Playboy Mansion, which would be terrible, of course. I'm worried for Mark Cohn walking in Memphis.
And lifeguards, maybe.
I fear for Tommy Lee.
Ned Kelly, we're right.
Yeah. Well, the fact that Ned Kelly's in there is a bad sign because, he's kind of associated with that. And then most of the other people in the show should be relatively safe this
Okay,
week,
good.
I hope. Thanks. See you next week.
See ya.
Thanks for taking the time to rewind. Join us next time for another week that was 20 years ago. In the meantime, come and reminisce on the socials. Search for T-20 Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.